Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Today we're heading to the stunning Flathead Valley of Montana, just outside Glacier National Park, to speak with the owner of the Bad Rock Bed and Breakfast Inn. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. Creating a resume can be a cumbersome, intimidating task, especially if you haven't written a resume in many years. The unique Workamper News Resume Builder takes you through a step-by-step process to build a complete resume with all the information Workamper employers are looking for when reviewing applications. Once complete, your resume can be emailed to anyone, and the software tracks when and to whom you have mailed it. You can also print out the resume or make it into a PDF, which can then be uploaded or emailed. Some employers never advertise, not on Workamper.com or anywhere else. They find all of the applicants just by searching the Workamper News Resume Database. If you don't have a resume in the Workamper.com or database, you'll be missing out on some opportunities. To open the door to more Workamping jobs, become a Workamper member today by visiting Workamper.com. For the past 6 seasons, Bill Evans and his wife Rosalind have run a traditional bed and breakfast inn on a working farm, complete with hay fields, chickens, and soon, goats. As the 5th largest bed and breakfast in Montana, Bad Rock offers more than a cozy accommodations. It delivers unforgettable Glacier experiences and a warm, family-friendly atmosphere where guests and staff feel right at home. While Bad Rock's 2025 season is already staffed, Bill is now recruiting for 2026 and beyond. He's looking for couples who enjoy teamwork, have a positive attitude, and can communicate well. Although solo applicants might be considered on a case-by-case basis, the best fit tends to be couples willing to jump in where needed and to help each other out. Winter positions are available as well, although those are on a volunteer basis and focused more on house sitting and light maintenance. To tell us more about how work campers can enjoy a wonderful experience in the mountains, please welcome Bill Evans, the owner of Bad Rock Bed and Breakfast Inn, to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Bill. I appreciate the time. Tell us a little bit about Bad Rock Bed and Breakfast and how it came into being.
The bed and breakfast has been around for 33 years. We are the 4th owners. We've had it this would be our 6th season. And we are a traditional bed and breakfast on an active farm. So we've got hay, chickens, and all that. We are the 5th largest bed and breakfast in the state of Montana. We are also provide guests and families the Glacier experience, activities and hikings, where we offer all different types of items to the guest, from picnics to hiking, for free. Our goal is to have our guests walk away with memories that bring them back over and over again.
It's funny you mention amenities because I was looking at them on your website. You are the only Workamper employer I have ever interviewed who offers bear spray as an amenity.
We used to own a gun shop, or at least a chain of them, small amount. And a lot of the stuff that when we shut down the shop, we moved into the bed and breakfast and just said, hey, you can check these out. They're free. For the most part, we put it like a good old boy thing. You check it out. It's an honor system. The bear spray, we have to do one-on-one, but all the other stuff from the rain jackets, binoculars, hiking sticks, backpacks, all that other stuff, they can just walk in, take it, and then they bring it back. We've never had anything walk off.
That's wonderful.
It's been pretty good.
Absolutely. Are there a lot of bears in your area?
Not directly in our area, because we're in the farming area of the just outside. You come out the national park and you're heading west. You'll drop off into a big valley. That big valley is where we're at. And we're right there in Columbia Falls. I have never seen any bear scat anywhere in the area, but we do see a lot of elk, a lot of white-tailed deer, tons of turkeys, and occasionally you can hear the illustrious unicorn, the pheasant, but you can hear it, you never see it, but that's predominantly what we have.
Okay. That sounds like a fun place to visit. I'm sure your guests are going off hiking and things like that, and they would use those supplies to their advantage.
Yeah, that's pretty much the majority of our business. People are coming here to go into Glacier National Park. And so we provide all that for the guest. Since we're a traditional bed and breakfast, we provide a hearty breakfast first thing in the morning. And then they're pretty much gone. And we see them around 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And during the summertime, the summer solstice, so you're getting a long day. You get 5:15 in the morning sunrise, sunsets 10:20, 10:30 at night. So it's a
Wow.
long day.
How far are you from the entrance to Glacier National Park?
From driveway to the west gate, we're 18 and a half miles. And
Okay.
so it depends on, people always ask, how far is that in time? And I'm like, it's beautiful. If you stop, like normally everybody, it could take you 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, because you stop 13 times to get out and take pictures. So it's hard to, 18 and a half miles is the easiest way of saying it.
Okay. And what types of jobs do you hire work campers to do?
So what we do is we have a variety of jobs that we have on the property, and they vary from landscaper, handyman, a gardener, cook. We've got farming is one of them as well, because we do have stuff that we need to take care of. The missus is where you got a new endeavor that coming on this year. We're going to have goats, but we do have chickens. We have 54 ladies out back, and they're pasture raised. That's part of the business. We go and take care of them, and then we bring it in. There's a variety of things. When we have our work campers, we try to find things that best suits them. We know certain things that every job needs to be covered down on, and everybody for the most part wears 2 hats. So it's today you got to do this and that, and tomorrow might be the same thing. The next day may not, but we all try to work together and we laugh, and so nobody gets stagnant on anything. So it just makes it fun. And considering the fact that we don't require a lot from our staff, we normally, they're working maybe 15, 20 hours max for the week, but it's usually everything's done in 15 hours. And we try and do it. Everybody just works 3 hours a day. So everybody's retired for the most part. And why do they want to work 40 hours a week? In the last probably 3, 4, 5 years, we've been seeing a lot of work campers that are younger generation, that they want to get away from real world and they want to become work campers. And this is a retirement thing, I believe. And it's always been that way. We got bucket lists. We want to see the world and we want to drive around. And that's what it used to be. Now it's starting to get younger generation, and they want 40 hours a week. They want medical. They want this. They want, when it's like, hey, maybe she'll get a job. This is geared towards people like the missus and I. We're retired. We want to enjoy it, and we don't require a lot from any one individual. So we try to make it easy so that way the days are long and everybody can get out and go see the national park.
Excellent. That's a great way to put that, Bill. How many work campers are you looking to hire?
We normally hire 3, sometimes 4 sets. So it's 6 to 8 people. Ideally, when we're busy, and you can look at the business, since we're close to the Canadian border, the tariffs right now is going to have a little bit of an impact on the Canadians going south. And it'll be like COVID year almost. That's fine. But we manage our property quite well. And come on, the property's been paid off for years ago. So we really just try to enjoy everything with everybody. And so we're not cutting corners. Everything's done to top quality. And then we just take care of our staff and we laugh. So 3 to 4 sets, and we've got them already this year, but we're always looking for follow-on seasons.
Okay. So 2025 is set, but you're looking for folks in 2026 and beyond.
Correct. And usually we start hiring for the follow-on. For instance, we're hiring for 2026. We start in September of 2025. And then we seem to be a little bit ahead of the game. And then, you know what, some of the staff that we're looking at, I don't know, I believe look early. And normally we'll put like a hotline ad out, and we get majority of our staff from the hotline ads. We'll put one out in September, and we'll probably get about 50% of what we need. And then we'll put one out in October, maybe pick up what we need. If not, maybe we'll put one out in November. We also reach out to existing staff, and we try to capitalize on their network of friends. And that referral help. Better referral is somebody that really enjoyed their stay, and they're like, oh, I want to come back. And I know somebody else that would really enjoy it as well.
That's great. You had mentioned that you were needing 4 sets of work campers or 8 people. Would you consider hiring solos and families?
On the family thing, it's a little bit difficult. Only reason why is because or the past. First endeavor didn't turn out well. For instance, the families that we had, they had total 5 and we had 2 work campers. The kids are off doing things they shouldn't be doing. And in that aspect, we were a little sour taste. And so we decided maybe or maybe not, we'll look at it again. As in reference towards the solo, we've tried individual, and they wanted to occupy both sides of the spectrum, work as a couple, so do twice as much work, which that doesn't work out too well for the way we set up our dynamics because we do a lot together as a group. The staff, we eat together, we go to the rodeo together, we go float down the river, we take cooking classes together. We do a lot together. And if they're always working, they don't feel like they want to go off. They want to relax and do some other. So that kind of didn't turn out well. If we do a solo and they do just the one side of the team effort, it might work out. And then that would be the only way we would probably revisit that. That might work out. It'd have to be the select individual.
So case by case, you'd look at it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, because this is a bed and breakfast and not a campground, are you open year round or seasonal?
We are seasonal. We're open. The staff usually starts showing up mid-May, and then they leave about the early part of October. We're only open pretty much when the national park is open for the most part. They're open. Everybody arrives mid-May, leave in October.
Okay. Mid-May to the middle of October.
They pretty much are just house sitting, and they'd be just in very limited things that they need to do. But I'm here as well, and they're here. It's just mostly house sitting and checking on things to make sure everything hasn't changed. But
Okay.
yeah, we're not open to the public during the winter.
Are these volunteer positions or are they paid?
The ones in the summer are paid. The one in the winter is volunteer.
Okay. So tell us about the 2 different positions, or what would be required of people in the winter versus the summer.
The ones that are during the summertime, of course, they'd be doing 3 hours a day for 5 days, and there's your 15 hours. And then they would get full hookup. We've got everything in there we've got a full kitchen, there's free laundry, the RV lots that are there, and they got the great view and everything. And then we give them a stipend for the month, and that's pretty much summertime. Wintertime, we help winterize their rig. And then we stick them on the side of the barn where there's no wind. And then we give them all the stuff that will help them winterize. And then they basically just either house sit, they go in and they check everything once a day. They're pretty much in 30 minutes, they're done. And then occasionally they may have to assist me on plowing the road, which I think this year we've only had to plow 4 times. So it's not big. We don't get that much snow in this area where we're at. It's just for keeping our insurance alive, because we have to keep it plowed because of the fire department, just in case.
That makes sense. You had mentioned that they're paid positions. Can you go into how much you are willing to pay these work campers?
So it varies from every year. If we have them, so we give them the full hookup right now, going forward this coming season, since we give them the full hookup, and here in Montana, the hookups are pricey. So we give that to them free. And then we give them all the little amenities that we have on the property, but we only give them $600 for the couple. That's a stipend that we give them.
Is that for the season or for a month?
Per month.
That includes all the amenities and the free full hookup. So they can rent the same things, or you borrow the same equipment that the guests can when the guests aren't using it?
They can use more because the staff get to use my personal stuff. And they usually will use the kayaks and some of the stand-up paddle boards, but the guests don't get to use that.
Okay. What kind of traits and qualifications are you looking for in work campers?
The traits that we look for is many of the things that we look for is we try to initially dive into a pool where we like to look from. First of all, you remember we mentioned the military, the fire, and the police, and so forth, but we look from that pool. But what we look for is people that can, like we mentioned before, wear multiple hats. So if somebody that likes to do landscaping, they may be a handyman as well. If somebody likes to cook and they like to do gardening, oh, okay, there's the second hat that person would have to wear. If someone was the housekeeper that liked to tinker with other things in the farming area, maybe they'll do both of those. So there's usually those 6 areas that we try to cover: the handyman, the housekeeper, the cook, the farming, the gardener, and then trying to think what that 6th one was. I just think I just mentioned it, but yeah, it's the landscaping, gardening, farming, housekeeping, cook, and the handyman. So normally what happens is our cook might be part of our gardening, or the housekeeper may be part of the gardening, or the landscaper might be part of the gardening, or the handyman does just purely handyman. Maybe he's a contractor and that's what he likes. I try to stick with people, what they put down on their resume or what we discuss, and it fits what we're looking for. So if is the biggest key, it's not necessarily if somebody shows up and they have no skill sets, that's fine. We can teach you that. That's not an issue. We just try to find the right fit for the group of work campers. And so we try to make sure everybody's batting on the right side of the plate or the left side of the plate, or they want to, whatever it is. There's no major issues with the group. That's perfect. We can all learn from each other. Yeah.
Okay.
That a lot of we have is they perform typical household duties, just keeping hospitality in mind. So that's our direction.
Okay. So all of the work campers should be jacks of all trades. They're not necessarily going to specialize in things, but if somebody isn't able to do one of the tasks, it's possible that somebody else would fill in. What's involved in your interview and hiring process?
We try to do everything on either the phone or like a Zoom type conversation. And that makes it much easier because we can ask a lot of questions. We can answer a lot of questions, and it's a two-way street. So I get to ask some and back and forth and try to find out if it's a good fit. And then, so that usually works out for the best. And then that way it's important, especially to have all and work. In your format that you have on Workamper needs, it works really.
Okay, thank you. You had mentioned before we started talking how important the resume builder is that Workamper News uses. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
The resume builder, it gives me an opportunity to look at multiple things. Everything from what your rig looks like, the picture of the two of you. If you've got any animals, I get a chance to see them. And then it gives me a background on what your intentions are. And it's very important that if the work campers update their resume, and it's very important because some of the information that you're applying for may or may not apply next year, or what you did last year is not what you're looking for now. So it's important that the work camper updates their resume. And if they want to tailor make it towards what they're looking for, it's helpful. Some things that I've found that people put down, hey, I want to work 40 hours a week. And so when I search for somebody who just wants to work part-time, I don't look at those people. And then eventually they may respond to an ad that I have in a hotline ad telling me that they want to work part-time, but I remind them that their resume doesn't say. So I would have never looked at them. And so it's very important that the work camper indicates what they're looking for. And if they're not looking, if they want to do that today and tomorrow, maybe I'll do any. So that way it gives me the opportunity to at least have a pool to look at. And they just need to look at it from the hirer's standpoint rather than their personal, because sometimes they think it means to me, it means a complete different.
That's a very good point. What can a Workamper do to really stand out among the other applicants if they really want to work for you up in Montana?
It helps if usually Montana's on everybody's bucket list, and that makes it really easy. But I think what we really look for in our area of our business is to find somebody that can work as a team. They can work individually, but they also need to be able to work as a team. That is critical because they may be doing part of their job they do individually, and then when they move on to something later in the day, they got to be as a group, and they don't know how to deal with that. Our biggest thing is communication. If there's an issue that pops up, we try to have everybody work it together. So if one of my Workamper set has a family reunion and they've got to fly out to go do something for a week, we try to get the other Workampers to cover down for them. And then when they come back, they cross load that. So the missus and I try to intervene with that, but there's so many other moving parts. And since the Workamper portion of our business is relatively small, 3 hours a day, which we're there from sunrise to sunset, we try to let them take care of that issue, and then we talk it up and then we move on. But that's usually it.
Okay. You had mentioned that your staff is your number one asset and that you're highly protective of them. Explain what you mean by that.
In my 24 years in the military, and then also at the same time working for a municipality fire department, the wife works in the hospitality arena, and we've been Workampers employers for the last 6 years. Our staff is our number one asset. The guests, even though we're in business to make business, it's critical that the guest realize, we don't necessarily go out and tell them directly, but it's very critical. The staff member is worth way more to me than somebody coming in and renting our place for 5 or 6 days. It's not worth it. Usually, if somebody comes in and they're a bad guest, sometimes you can see, I talk to them, sometimes they come from states where they try to push their views and their belief system. And here in Montana, we just treat everybody equally, and everybody is someone. It doesn't matter who you are. If somebody comes to the back end of bolts, especially if they're to my staff member, just check them out, refund them, and push on down the road. And maybe fun place stuff for year round in the summertime, or not year round, but in the summertime. And they usually leave a bad view, but I advise it and respond to it professionally. And then I get so much more advertising, so much more business from one person acting poorly because their parents didn't raise them up properly than if I was to just take it on the chin and move on. So I let my staff know when they first show up is, hey, you're my number one asset. I'll back you. And then sometimes when the guests come in, they'll ask questions and I let them know. And then I always remind them that it's not something that
You cut out again.
Staff standpoint, that they won't know that they're number two. They'll never know.
Okay.
So it's a great thing.
What draws people to your area outside of Glacier National Park? What can Workampers do when they're not working?
The main pool for our area is the national park. I would say 95+% is going into the national park. But for our work campers, and some of this can apply to the guests that are coming, our community offers a variety of adventure opportunities, including hiking, of course, off-road ATV and rafting, fishing, canoeing, camping, helicopter rides, zip lines, go-karts, stand-up paddles, the list goes on. We have in our area, there's farmers markets, there's a brass rodeo. All of these things happen weekly. So there's rodeos that are happening all the time. Within 20 miles of our property, there's 75 plus restaurants, to include many of the department stores at that same distance. So the staff have everything that they would have anywhere in the United States, but you also have the national park and the countryside. So there's a lot here. That's one of the big draws for a lot of our staff coming back. We get about 25% of our staff members come back to work for us. Not necessarily year after year, but year and then maybe a year past, and they'll come back again. So It's a beautiful place here.
Do your work campers work a little every day, or do they have set days off?
They have set days off. Everybody works 3 hours a day.
Okay.
And if we have 3 sets, there's 2 teams that overlap. If we have 4 sets, 3 teams overlap most of the time. And they just work 3 hours. So if you're my cook, you arrive at 7, you're done by 10. If you come in and you're doing handyman, housekeeping, gardening, you start at 10, you're done by 1. And then they're off into the park. And then the missus and I pretty much fill in where there's other work that needs to be done.
Okay. Do they have specific days off, or does that?
Yes, sir, they do.
Okay.
Everybody does. Yeah, we give that when everybody arrives. We give them a calendar. These are your days off. This is how it's going to set for the entire season. If you need a day off, in fact, everybody that's working for me this summer got this schedule in September of last year.
Okay.
So they know way ahead of time what day they're working, what's going on. I even give them a list of, hey, these are the upcoming events that are happening in our area. So they already know. We've got a community texting pool that I chat with my staff, necessarily daily, but when they get here, it's daily. Right now, it's like once a week, they'll ask a question and then we try to air it out. And then it's a group text so everybody sees it. And that way, when they arrive, everybody knows each other. A lot of the information has already been out there. And if they've got something that they want to talk to me on the sideline, they'll give me a call. This way they know their schedule. So that way, because everybody, when they come up here, they always have family and friends come up because it's beautiful up here. And hey, I'm off on Thursday, Friday. So they'll have their family come up and they know what days they're off.
Cool. What's for breakfast?
It depends on the day of the week. So every day different. So Monday's like a turkey croissant sandwich. It could be anything. Wednesday's one of my favorite days. It's bacon and cheddar cheese, fused waffle, fried eggs, and spiced avocados. And so all the eggs come from our property. We've got Jimmy Dean sausage casserole. Sunday is the strawberry waffles. Do a lot of bacon and butter. People they're health. We really do cater towards dietary restrictions. People that are celiac, that they're gluten-free. We do cater towards dietary restrictions. We'll take care of everybody, but every day is a different meal. And it's not like a short order cook. So everybody eats the same thing like we do in the fire station. And so what we do is we make the meal and the guests will show up at breakfast between 8 and 9. If they want to come in, we've got a tea bar, all different. We got 16 different styles of tea, hot chocolate. We got little edible things that they could eat prior to breakfast, but we have a main area that everybody eats at. Breakfast will be between 20 and 30 people.
Okay.
So we cater to them and we'll take care of them. They got food, they're on the door and they're out. The missus likes to make homemade scones. So on 2 days of the week, scones are there. But every day it's a different meal.
Do the work campers get to partake in breakfast, or is that the next?
If they work in the kitchen, they do.
Okay.
That's funny that you asked that, because it seems that, for instance, last year, our ladies whoever cooked on specific days, their husbands, they were always popping in and, hey, that's just the perk. And we will try to minimize the cost on things. We've talked about it. We haven't revisited it, but since you brought that up, I'll mention it to the missus. But, about cooking for the staff. Sometimes they want to sleep in, they're not working, and they'll miss breakfast, and we've made them breakfast. So if they're awake and there's leftovers, which there always is, it's first come, first serve.
Where can people get more information about this opportunity if they want to learn more about the bed and breakfast or the area?
So the best thing to do is if someone needs additional information, give me a call directly. They can call me, and that's 406-892-2829 right here in Montana. Or if they need additional information on the property, they can go to our website at www.badrock.com. And if they're interested in any of the positions, I would suggest that they, either read about either past reviews from the Workamper standpoint. Go look on Workamper News and look at what past Workampers have said about us. Or they can go online and any of the vendors that are out there, from Expedia, Bookings, Hotel, TripAdvisor, or Yelp or Google, look what people have said about us. We are in the top 5% across the country, and we've got great reviews all around. Occasionally we'll get somebody who's the back end of a horse and they'll leave a review and we respond to it. It's usually a miscommunication on their end, but we solve it and we move on.
Are you active on social media as well?
My wife is. We do a Facebook one for Bad Rock, but she usually posts things. Hey, this is what the chickens are doing. Hey, I made this new little dish. If you want that recipe, call her. We do little things on there to just make it warm and cozy. We've never had to advertise ever. And because we've always had enough draw from the national park, and with bad little things, I noticed this year is a little bit slower. It's like COVID right now. And I talked to some of I don't want to say competition. I talked to my other people that do the same thing we're doing in the area. And one of the things that I've done in the past is I go stay at their place. What are you doing? I want to see what you're doing because I want to know, is it something I should be doing? And it keeps me on my toes, but I try to see what they're doing, what they're charging. And we try to keep our rates and everything in the middle of the road. Social media, just the wife does that a little bit. I know we need to do more, but we haven't. And if somebody came in and that was there's a Workamper that said, hey, I set up social media. I'm like, oh my gosh, help me. I will give you extra hours. I will whatever. So I know it's something we need to do. We just haven't done.
Thank you again, Bill. I really appreciate the time. It sounds like a fabulous place to spend a summer, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you much. You have a great day.
Bad Rock Bed and Breakfast isn't your typical Workamping job. It's a charming inn nestled in Columbia Falls, Montana, where hospitality meets heart and hard work comes with breathtaking views of Big Sky Country. Just 18 miles from the west entrance of Glacier National Park, Bad Rock serves as a base camp for adventurers, and Bill and Rosalind Evans make sure guests and work campers are well taken care of. For work campers, the opportunity includes more than just a full hookup RV site and a $600 monthly stipend. It's a chance to be part of a small, close-knit team where everyone wears a couple of hats and contributes to the smooth running of the bed and breakfast inn as well as the farm. Whether it's cooking hearty breakfasts, gardening, landscaping, tending to chickens, or helping with light handyman tasks, there's something to match a wide range of Workamper interests and skill sets. Workampers typically work just 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. That leaves plenty of time to explore the park, float down the river, or enjoy the many local attractions, which include rodeos and farmers markets, or ziplining and kayaking. Bill and Rosalind even plan community activities for the staff to make the experience feel more like an extended family outing than a summer job. If you're interested in working on the Bad Rock team, visit their website at www.badrock.com or check out their reviews on Workamper News, or even give Bill a call directly. You'll want to keep your resume on Workamper News up to date because Bill relies heavily on the platform's resume builder when selecting candidates. So if Montana is on your bucket list and you're seeking a workamping experience rooted in community, nature, and fun, Bad Rock Bed and Breakfast might be your next great adventure. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. Much more than just a job listing website, when you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your workamping dreams into reality. A Workamper membership opens the door to a one-stop shop for all things workamping. Being the original resource for workamping, find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with the community of workampers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable workamping lifestyle, then membership is for you. Join today at www.workamper.com. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all for this week's show. Next time I'll be speaking with the manager of an Oregon resort and marina who is looking for workampers to help run their operation. I'll have details on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thank you for listening, and if you like these interviews, please consider leaving a review wherever you download the episodes.